So far, since the morning, we are battling with business, new products, profit, finance, production. Right, very good. And it is necessary for everyone because we want to be rich and we want to be more comfortable. Similarly, right from the industrial revolution, we started to progress towards getting more and more products, better products to make our life more comfortable. But in the whole process, we forgot one component of that, which we started experiencing now. Next, today, what we have produced wonderful products, wonderful automobiles, air conditioners, washing machines, industrial products, satellites, airplanes, great. But what is the impact of that on the environment? Anything what we produce all these days, right from the industrial revolution now, all materials come from where? What is the materials that comes into our production line? Where we are getting this material? Can you tell? From Mother Earth. So we are depending on the nature, which we unfortunately forgot the last 100 plus years. Up to the industrial revolution, the economies are very low scale economies. That means our human beings are less, so requirements are less, so consumption is less. But the more we progress towards that, the human population growth increased dramatically over the world. Requirements have increased, the comforts have increased. So then we have started exploiting the Mother Earth for all our resources. We cannot produce not even one single product without touching the earth, without touching the environment. We are completely depending on that, but we completely forgot that over a period of time. So what happened? The first major global problem we faced sometime back in the 90s is the ozone depletion, which you are aware of it, right? Many of you are aware of it. From where this ozone depletion problem came? So there are air conditioners, refrigerators, we use a compounds called chlorofluorocarbons. These compounds started accumulating in the atmosphere and they started depleting the ozone. What happens if the ozone depletes? The ozone is filtering ultraviolet radiation from the sun. So if we destroy the ozone, those radiation will come and people will be affected, the health is affected, the cancer started growing. Suddenly the growth of cancer increased globally, particularly in the Western countries. Luckily we are more prone to the temperatures, so we are more comfortable to even to bear a temperature of 45 degrees, nothing will happen to us. God has given that endurance to us. This problem, the cancer's growth is suddenly going and nobody knows what's the reason. So they started a lot of research why it is good. So then they found that something is happening at the thyroid pathway, the ozone is depleted. So nearly nearly $6 trillion the world spent to replace these gases. Nearly 20-25 years to replace that process. Still on. Next is global warming, which we are facing it. Today we are facing the biggest problem mankind is facing today is the Why again? From where this global warming is coming? Anybody?
Because of pollution, because of all other wastage, all kind of pollutant items.
There is called greenhouse gases, particularly the carbon dioxide, methane, and other fluorocarbons. From where this is coming? These are coming from the fuels, what we burn. Fuels we are burning in our automobiles, fuel burning in industry, fuel burning at the home, whatever the source of that, these started accumulating in the atmosphere over a period of time.
Factory wastages, industry wastages, all kinds of.
So what happened to once the global warming is coming, what is happening today? Yesterday and today we are facing the monsoon is delayed by maybe 15 days monsoon delayed. The countries are shivering now. What will happen to the monsoon? We do not get the water going. So the entire hydrological cycle is getting disturbed by the weather. So this is the most significant impact on the public. Next question. So this is our Indian perspective. If you take our country, whose population growth has occurred over a period of 3-4 decades, and we are depending, our economy is depending on natural resources. 3 basic sectors which supports even today the 70% of our population. One is agriculture, second one is fisheries, third one is the forest. These are 3 segments. All these 3 segments are affected by the global warming. That means what happens? 70% of our population will have to face the biggest economic crisis. Crops does not grow, the fish dies, the forest is destroyed. The people depending on these natural resources will be lost their economic value in the society. So this is the challenge what we are facing. And because of the growth of our population, we started exploiting the natural resources and environmental degradation is very rapid. So these are the various statistics shows that how much degradation is happening in the country. Forest cover reduced, water availability is not there. Disease factors are increasing because of the pollution and environmental degradations. Excellent. And so much of greenhouse gases are produced by our own country. Per billion, nearly $159 billion per annum the losses for India because of the economic losses due to climate change. The power what we generated is not efficiently used. 30% of power is, we do not know where it is going, it's the losses or theft, we do not know. Billions of tons of garbage produced, lakhs of tons of plastic waste, hazardous waste, now the e-waste which we collect. What is sustainable development? Why we require it? Because number one, the resources on the mother earth are limited. It is not endless. We think that they are endless. So we face that. We are observing ourselves. The water is available. It is available. We can throw anywhere. Any amount of water we can use. Any amount of water we can throw. Is it right now? Is it the same thing? No. Now we are fighting for the water. The states are fighting for the water. And countries are fighting for the water. So this is going to be a reality. And yes, please. No, please. Yeah. We need to utilize the resources optimum. Otherwise, the earth cannot survive, it cannot give them. And we are becoming thieves. We are robbing the future generations. After maybe 150 years, there will not be any coal sources for them. There will have any water resources left for it. Every mineral resource is being exploited by it. What will happen after 200 years, after 300 years? What will happen to the people who are going to live there at that time? So we are stealing their future by mindless exploitation of the nature. So what we require to do is reduce, recycle, reuse. These are the three concepts. Without this, we cannot survive in the future. So we require the industry, society and individuals all together need to do something for the environment, otherwise it is going out of hands of everybody. So there are a lot of history of environmental legislation. Because we are normally habituated that we require a policeman to control the traffic. Similarly, we require some regulator to control the pollution. So we created these regulations. 1972, the first human environment, the UN conference on human environment. So that is the starting point of the regulatory controls of the pollution in the worldwide, and we started that process. And there are series of legislations came into picture. Next. So, Wildlife Act, the Water Act, the 42nd Amendment of Constitution, then the Forest Conservation Act, Air Prevention and Control Act, Environmental Protection Act. So many things have come into the picture. Hazardous waste, this, that. So all these laws are becoming, number one, more and more stringent. Almost every 2 months there is a new law and a new notification is coming from on the environment. Take any subject, right, from utilization of your consumer durables, electronics, industry, chemicals, plastics, whatnot. Because it has become uncontrollable. If you don't act on it, it's a doomsday if we need it. Right, these are some of the critical acts that are made, that is brought up by the government, that is Water Act, 1974, it talks about the water pollution, water conservation and wastewater treatment. Earlier we are very habitual that we can throw the water into the river, still we are habitual. We can throw the water into the tanks, we can throw the wastewater into the irrigation channels. Where it is going ultimately? So it is going into our food chain. The same water is being used to bring the crops, and that entire food chain is getting contaminated. So we are contaminating our own food. So that is the purpose of bringing this legislation. Similarly, air, same thing. We created a huge amount of emissions. We are taking it again back to our bodies, and we are going to the hospitals. So the next is the Environmental Protection Act 1986. This is a umbrella act, it's covered by the entire country. This came after the Bhopal gas factory, which some of you may be aware of at that time. It's a huge accident that occurred in the Bhopal due to the leakage of some of the chemicals which killed nearby 8,000 people or more. So that brought into a lot of legislation requirements are there in that is waste, that is chemicals, plastics, and industrial operations, safety. So many aspects are brought into the legislation to control that. Next one, please. So electronic industry. Today, we are not there without electronics. We are not there without plastics. These are the two fundamentally guiding our every product in our life. We say that plastic is bad, but we cannot live without plastic. So, and electronic waste, many of you may not be aware, there is a huge problem faced in the US and the European nations to discard the electronic waste. It has become costly affair to dispose the electronic waste. Because it doesn't disintegrate or decompose so easy. And every electronic component or subassembly or assembly or finally goes to the product contains a lot of heavy metals. We use lead, we use cadmium, we use the mercury, we use zirconium. So these heavy metals contaminates the ground. Not only contaminates the ground, it goes to the water under the ground, which we are again drinking that, which is a major reason for the cancers in many countries. So what happens is when they started, landfills started first as a waste disposal facility. So they created the big landfills and all these wastes are dismantled and dumped. Because land is a precious resource again, people start thinking what happens after 100 years, how much land we require to dispose this waste. So then the economics started playing to them the production cost. So now if you want to export a product to X country, so the X country is asking two things about your product, not about the product. First thing is asking what is the packing materials you are using. In some countries, the disposal cost of the packing material is more than the cost of the product is. It is extremely costly. Not like our country, we are very fortunate, cost is not so high. So if it is $100 is a product, if you have to dispose after its life, it will become $250 to dispose. So this becomes economic part of the product itself, the environmental cost. And there are certain categories in our country that they distributed the industry activity or the manufacturing activity based on the type of waste they deliver. Red category, orange category, green category. A lot of controls are exercised on these type of industrial activities. So other laws applicable to the electronic sector. The huge waste is generated, the e-waste management now become most critical part. So earlier we can throw any electronic item anywhere we want after use. Now we don't throw, we can everywhere after 30 years we throw. But normal life in other countries is only 10 years. We use 35 years and throw it. That's a good thing what we do. But where do we throw this? This has become a biggest problem. And plastic waste, which we are aware of, the plastic will not decompose easily. It takes more than 200 years for it to decompose into its atmosphere. So if we don't recycle these wastes, number one, the cost of production is increasing, which is directly affecting the industries. Number two, the health of the people is affected. Our own health is getting affected. So they started giving a lot of regulations. Apart from the government regulations, now two important things came into picture. One is an automobile industry, car manufacturers. The ELV norms, end of life vehicle norms. That means if at the end of the vehicle we have to scrap it. Now the policy came in India also, 15 years old vehicles need to be scrapped. So if we scrap the vehicle, tons of hazardous materials are coming from this scrap cars. So we have to again recycle back the waste, become lead, rhodium, cadmium, mercury, all these items are coming from the car manufacturer. What they said is now we have to replace these metals or other alternative metals we have to reuse so that because the disposal costs are increasing. Otherwise the car becomes very expensive. Similarly, we have the heavy metals from the electronic industries globally are implementing. Some of you maybe the global suppliers are there in this. So they receive a lot of questions from your customers. Are you using this? Are you using this? Are you using this? What is your plan to stop this? So huge amount of research and financial resources are going into the phasing out of the lot of the heavy metals being used for the electronic industry. So these EVS tools came into 2022 and are already amended 4 times. So can you click on the first schedule, sir? Schedule 1, second item. Schedule list of these items. You can see whatever you think of electronics, it is there. So now what they given is, it is a mandate given by under the law that each manufacturer, for example, manufacturer of a TV, is responsible for end of life disposal of this waste. You see, he has to have a system to recycle back, collect back, discard it, reuse the components which can be used, or then dispose which cannot be used. So this includes, if you open any television, you have a plastic component, PCBs, electronic items, any component which contains these items, they have to reuse or dispose properly in the landfills and incineration systems. So this is become mandated. They have given a time frame for 2027, 28, 29, 2030. They have made a plan to make a system to first capture these items after the end of the life of the market, of the users. So you might have seen some of the mobile manufacturers, they are doing it now. They're asking that once you want to throw your mobile, please inform, give a call to us. We will collect it and recycle. So this has become a mandatory requirement for all the major electronic product manufacturers. Or you can imagine anything, right, on the ground or on the air, any item related to the factory. This is going to be the biggest challenge for the manufacturers in the few years to come. So these rules are made because number one, disposal costs become very highly expensive. So you cannot afford a product which may be $100, but disposal cost is $250. Then the second one is the type of problems it is creating, the health problem of the biodiversity of the countries. It is significantly impacting the health of the people. These are 2 reasons why so much regulations and so much research, so much financial resources are going into the tackle this kind of thing. So what is important is to reduce, reuse, and recycle. So these are 3 concepts which the world has to go through if we want to survive in this age. Thank you very much.
Contribution of today's stakeholder meeting. It's time to express gratitude. I sincerely thank you, all dignitaries, speakers, industry representatives, MSME entrepreneurs and government officials and participants for their valuable contribution and active participation. Your insights and suggestions will greatly contribute to strengthening the electronic sector and promoting import substitution initiatives. Thank you all once again, and we wish you a safe journey back and look forward to your